Good morning, Florence Kuchi. She is a Metro Public Health Director at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
I hope you're doing very well.
By His
Watching the
grace.
video, I was scared for you.
Everyone is scared for me, but we know that we are being protected.
Right.
Yeah, because that is our job. That is what we've opted for. There are a series of jobs, but since we have decided to go to School of Hygiene and come out to put preventive measures on public health, and that is what we will do. Yes.
Now, this started in 2019. Let's talk about how it all started, how the market people even received this initiative.
Okay, so I took over office in 2019. And then when I took over office, I did a scouting round the metropolis, and I realized that Agboleshi Market is a food hub center. It's a place that about, if I'm not mistaken, about 85% of the food that we have in Accra or Greater Accra is being purchased from. That is where the bulk breaking take place before people come to purchase and go and do reselling. And I've realized that a lot of unhygienic incidents are going at the place. The sanitary condition at the market is very appalling. So I took Agboleshi Market as my baby, and I told myself that before I leave Accra Metropolitan Assembly, I should turn Agboleshi Market into a new leaf so that when people goes there, they will feel happy to buy food, and anything that they are buying there, they will be sure that they are not at risk of any kind of contamination.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you saw this and then you met the market woman.
Yes.
So how did you address it to them? How did you tell them that you were going to put right structures in place to make sure the place is neat, to make sure that, you know, the place is well structured?
So first of all, Agboleshi Market, they have market queens and they have product market queens. That is, they have integrated into product market queens. So first of all, we met the market queens at Agboleshi Market. We had a meeting with them. We also identified the food product market, the queens. For instance, plantain trading queen, tomato trading queen, vegetable, all other. There are a series of food products that they sell in Agboleshi Market. So we identify all their heads and we met them. We had a discussion with them what we want Agboleshi Market to be. And they themselves, they were very happy. And the issue they told us, the main problem they had was the people selling at the roadside. They are not helping them, especially those in the market. And AMA, being so wise, they have demarcated the market in a way that when you come out to where, by the roadside, you see a dwarf wall. That dwarf wall, at the back of the dwarf wall is a pedestrian's walkway. Then after it is the drain, then the roadside. But these traders have decided to use the pedestrian walkway as their trading center.
Which is close to the drain.
Which is close to the, even on top of the drain, and even after the drain, they are even on the road itself, putting their life in danger. Let's say that you are there selling and then a truck loses its brake. What happened? A lot of issues will occur. People will lose their family members, people will even be maimed, and it will become a burden on the country itself for people to come in and help. Some people will lose their life survivors, which is not one of the best. So when we had these discussions with these market women and they told us their problems, so we promised them that we are going to help them to ensure that all those selling by the roadside on the drain will have to go inside the market, because they all have sheds in the market which they have abandoned, and they are selling by the roadside. So since 2019...
So with this, sorry, you had a conversation with the market women. Did they give you reasons why these people, although they had sheds in the market, had moved to the roadside?
You know, let me say, in this part of our world, a lot of people do the things that are not right. And they feel that is it. Everybody wants some conveniency. They are always by the roadside because that is where somebody who is in a hurry can just get there and purchase something and turn back. If you could hear my lady mayor speak, she said, we are even going to arrest people who are buying from the people selling by the roadside. Because if you don't patronize them, they will not be there. It's because they get people who patronize them. So those traders who are inside the market, they pay tolls. They pay at the end of the year, they pay for the shed. And then these women will just come and sit by the roadside. They only pay the daily tolls, but they don't pay for shade. And they will be getting all the necessary market or whatever they want.
Those by the roadside are paying daily toll?
Yes. Which is not supposed to be.
I was going to ask you,
yes.
How do I, go to a place that is not supposed to be where I'm supposed to be and I'm paying a toll? Paying toll to who?
That is what I'm saying. Most at times we turn wrongs into right. And because people will not heed to, and there was nothing for people to do, we will not allow you to sell there for free.
So who was collecting the tolls?
We have market toll collectors. Yes. So we will not allow you to sell there for free and generate the waste and leave it there. So you have to pay for the waste that you are generating, though you are not supposed to be there. So in order to put a stop to it, the Metro Public Health Department in AMA decided to take the bull by its horns with the help of Joy Clean Ghana campaign. We were so happy when this initiative came into effect. So Agboleshi Market was our first point of call when we started Joy Clean Ghana campaign. That was where we had the almighty ratus, and all those things. It was so trending on social media. Yeah. Right.
So currently, you have cleaned Agboleshi Market since 2019. Has the concentration been only on Agboleshi Market?
The concentration is not only on Agboleshi Market. The work the environmental health officers do, we do a lot of work. We do the market sanitation, we do hospitality industry inspection, we do health facility inspection, educational institution inspection, and a lot, domiciliary inspections, public places, and all that. Even corporate business areas, we go there. So we are doing this throughout the whole of the metropolis. So when you look at, we have an itinerary that we follow. So maybe this week we are doing this, the following week we are doing this, the following week we are doing that. So we realized that because maybe we did not give mass attention to Agboleshi Market, that is why we are not getting the needed results that we intended to achieve. That is why 2023, we decided to devote a whole month for Agboleshi Market to see whether we really achieve what we are looking for. And if you can watch the videos for yesterday, you will see that when you stand at a stretch, you can look throughout because the people have moved from the pedestrians walkway, nobody sells there, and the whole place was okay, traffic was moving.
Okay, now before we get into that video, we just want to know, how did the market women or the queens, they are the queens, or
yeah,
they are the queens of the market.
Yes, please.
How did they communicate with the people to try to let them understand that they have to be there before AMA stepped in with the, the force?
As I said, each product has their product leader. So these market queens brought all the product leaders together and informed them what AMA have come to discuss with them and what AMA intend to do. And the discussion they also had with AMA, with us in part of that meeting, because they didn't just have it alone. We were also part. We did all these things before we went into the enforcement bit.
So how come they never moved after this?
Always I say that people are always running away from change. Everybody wants to do something that will be easy for him or her. This is where I am. I easily get my daily bread. You see people who sell things along the street. It's not supposed to be. They are not supposed to sell things along the street. Everything has a place you need to get it. If you want to get water, you know where you have to get water. If you want to get yam, you know where you need, because we have yam market. But we have left the whole thing ajar and everybody is doing what they want to do. And immediately somebody wants to go in, it will only take the bureaucrat to be able to cram down this canker. But if the representative want to come in, then they start blackmailing them with votes. We won't do this, we won't do that, we won't do this.
Are you not scared of losing votes?
I am a bureaucrat. That is why I'm saying it will only take the bureaucrats to be able to cram down this canker, because nobody is voting for us. But if the representatives are leading, the people will blackmail them. So we will always want the representative to give us their support and be behind us. It's just like you are going to war. You need soldiers to go to war.
But currently, do you have the backing of the representatives?
As you can see, you saw our mayor. She's a representative. Okay. And she has given us her backing. This is what we want. The representative should back the bureaucrats to do the work, because the laws, they make the laws for the bureaucrats to implement. Representative doesn't implement laws. It's the bureaucrat that implements the laws. So we need their support to be able to implement these laws to achieve good results. That will go a long way to help us. For instance, somebody selling by the roadside, then there's an accident. Just look at some time back what happened at Kaswa toll booth. A lot of people lost their life, people were maimed, and it could even end somebody's education. And we are crying that everybody should be educated. If you don't have somebody to cater for you in school, how are you going to go to school? So it is because of their health. We don't hate anybody. We just want them to be healthy, to be strong, to live long, and take care of their dependents.
We keep talking about, where they've positioned their goods and, it not being safe for them. What about the consumers? How harmful are these food products that are sold to the consumers?
Yes, so let's talk about the public health aspect of what is going on. For instance, we have some microbacteria that you can find on the ground. There are microbacteria all over, but depending on the kind of microbacteria is a microorganism that it is. Some of these microorganisms, when they get close to food products, you may wash it. It will not be able to be washed away. It will clench on the food product. You will cook it. We have some microorganisms that hibernate in heat. So when they hibernate in this heat, and then when you may think, I'm cooking my food, yes, I bought it at maybe a dirty place, but I'm going to wash, I will cook it, and then all the organisms may die. Believe you me, it is not every microorganism that died through on heat. You can heat it up to 1,000 degrees Celsius, it will not die. It will only hibernate. And when you eat it, it's just a matter of time. Then it will they will have a good conducive system, environment, then they will rejuvenate and they will start multiplying you. And that is where the food poison issues come in, day out. It's unfortunate that we don't have accurate statistics of Ghana a year, the number of persons that suffer or the number of people that die through food poison or through foodborne diseases. But when you go to other countries, annually, people who die through foodborne diseases are more than thousands plus, and people who suffer. Just recently, look at what happened at the Yellow CC Wache joint. Ghanaians, we are Wache lovers. It could be that where she is preparing her food is very neat, but where she purchased the food products, maybe
could be where the problem is.
That is it. Let me say, maybe even the beans or whatever it is. This one is just, we don't have any accurate data to back it, but it's just let me say, a passing comment. Maybe the beans, they could use some chemicals to preserve the beans from it being spoiled by insects. And the maturity period was not up, and maybe these beans was cooked as wache and people ate. It could lead to that. It could also mean that maybe where they are preparing the food, there are infestation of rats or insects, and they use some kind of chemicals to do away with these living creatures. Then it ends up, maybe due to the negligence of somebody, it ends up in the food, and this could happen. It could also be that they also did something mechanically that could also, there are series of issues that could lead to that.
Some videos of some people preserving their food, like maybe yam or stuff, or coconut in a gutter, and then they cover it with a sack, and in the morning they remove it and they sell it back to the people. That's also very harmful, isn't it?
You are even saying a gutter. People put their plantain on soakaway septic tanks because of the heat that is emanating from the septic tank. They will put it on the septic tank and use sack to cover it so that it will get ripe fast, and they will use it to prepare gari and beans for us to eat. And we have come across certain things, and that is what we are doing. And every district, there is an environmental health officer who is running day in, day out to ensure that these things are being put to a stop. But it's just that the environmental officer is not, let me say, is not physically seen because we are not in uniform, though we are uniform people. But
so why don't you wear uniforms?
Yes, to wear a uniform, your employer need to give you a uniform. But our employers are not giving us a uniform. When last have you heard that they've bought this kind of vehicle, motor bicycle or bicycle for environmental officers to use to do their work. Have you ever heard it?
Yet to.
Yes. So the environmental officers are the unnoticed gallant service providers in the country, trying as much as possible to put preventive measures so that people will not fall sick through their daily activity or daily contact with things that they put
you also
in
did
them.
talk about eggs. You said eggs, when it's sold in certain areas, is very contaminated.
Yes, you see, some eggs sold in certain areas, I don't want to mention any area to deter people, but due to the e-waste system that we have in the country, these boys burn a lot of e-waste all around, and eggs at these areas are not wholesome for people to consume because there are some infiltration of some of these e-waste chemicals into some of these eggs that can be carcinogenic. So when you take it, you may develop some kind of cancer in you. Yes. So the e-waste canker is also another thing that all assemblies are trying as much as possible to also bring down. Now the local government ministry and then the local government service with some international bodies are coming together. They are training people who are into e-waste system to desist from burning the e-waste. They are now opening e-waste buy centers so that you can collect your e-waste with however it is. You send it there, it will be weighed. Then they will then know how to take out the valuable things properly, devoid of burning it, because burning of e-waste is very bad in the system. And they inhale it. People living around inhale it every day. There are a lot of, now when you go to the hospitals, if I'm not mistaken, airborne diseases are becoming so much in the
They're very common.
The OPD cases. Yeah.
The chest infection.
Yes.
The ear, nose,
and
throat.
all those things. Yeah.
Wow. We are still talking about the cleanup exercise that took place at the Agbogbloshie market, trying to make sure that the place is clean, neat, and well structured. And now, as a consumer, when you're purchasing your food, do you even look at the environment before you buy it, or you just buy it because it's convenient or it's cheap at that side? These are some of the things that we are talking about. You did make mention of the fact that the AMA boss did say that for consumers, if you purchase, you will be arrested as well. But what if I don't know that I'm not supposed to purchase there?
Madam, you don't know. You don't know that there is a market where we sell goods. Do we sell goods by the roadside? Any goods that is being sold by the roadside, they are not healthy. They are dirty. You go and see people display for sale onions by refuse, and you see people standing there to purchase. There are times I will just go to the market and chase people not to buy things, and people be giving me all sort of names. But I am doing it to protect the health, because our main mandate is we are preventive officers. We are not curative officers. Preventive officers ensures that any contamination, any food or any item that you can take to that will be contaminated for you to get a disease is being prevented. Let me say, when you go to the hospital, there's malaria, diarrhea, typhoid. These are all communicable diseases. They can easily be prevented. If we keep our environment clean, you will not run diarrhea. If you wash your hands, if you don't throw waste into the drains, when it rains, there won't be flooding for people to lose their livelihood and other things. When we don't defecate indiscriminately, runoff water will not carry it maybe to a place where somebody is what would I say, farming vegetables, will get this dirty water to water the vegetables, you go to eat it. Anybody who has ever been diagnosed of typhoid fever or cholera has some particles of human excreta in you. You've ingested it unknowingly. Not that you just go and take this excreta and you are eating. No.
Wow. We are learning a lot this morning. Now let's talk about your job. Now, watching the video, I realized that your life was at risk. And I did say it, that your life is a risk. Are you not scared? You said, no, this is your job. This is what you do. You're not scared of being lynched. But you never know who can beat you one day. Let's talk about some of the challenges as an environmental officer.
Environmental officers has a lot of challenges. And if we say we want to look at our challenges, there is no way any environmental officer will work. Let's look at our resources. You go to, there are some district assemblies you go and environmental officers don't even have a well-furnished office. They go there, there's just, some people are even living in containers. Some environmental officers are living in containers. You go to some assemblies, they don't give priority to the environmental officers. Environmental officers are being put at the back because the service we provide, they are not physical service. We provide non-physical service. And these non-physical service that we provide are things that go a long way to help the country. The environmental officer, we do two types of things. We have the physical and the non-physical. So that is where we talk about sanitation. Sanitation, we talk about the waste management and all that, where you see waste lying down and all. It is not just about the waste, but it's about what that waste can cause. It's about the education. We give health education. We do health promotion. But we need, if you don't have the means of transport, how do you meet the people to do this promotion? World Health Organization is saying that 700 people is to one environmental health officer. How many are environmental officers in the country? We are less than 6,000 in the country. And yet, our needed logistics or requisite resources that we need to work, we are not getting. No, I can tell you that not more than 15 regions or districts of environmental officers can boast of just a single vehicle that they can use to go around.
Vehicle.
I'm telling you.
So how do you go around?
That is it. We walk. We walk. We take cars and we use our own money to pay. You see, I told you today we are sending about 11 people to court. The people we are going to send to court, when we send them to court and they are being fined, we will have to send them to the prison. It is from our own pocket. So we spend a lot when it comes to the enforcement.
Wait,
and we need help.
Wait, clarify that.
Yes.
You will take them to court and with your own money.
Yes. The issue is, if I am lucky where I am, maybe my assembly may provide me with a vehicle so that I'll transport them. But there are some assemblies that they don't have that, what will I say? They are not fortunate to have that.
So you have to pay for the transportation.
So when you are sending somebody to court, and you go to court and the person doesn't come to court and you apply for a bench warrant, we are not in uniform. Though we were supposed to have, we are not. So you need the support of a police officer to go and help you. To do, when you are going to make this arrest, you need to rent a vehicle to arrest the people. You take them to court. When court finds them, you have to use your own money to make whatever printing you need to do. If they are remanded to be sent to prison, you need to use your own money to get a car to send these people to prison. When you arrest a junkie by the roadside, disposing of refuse, and you want to send the person to the police custody, you need to buy for the junkie. You need to buy the clean clothes for the junkie before the police can admit the junkie, because they don't have to admit anything into the cells to also lead to another issue. And the environmental officer goes through all these things in silence, and there's nobody to talk for the environmental officer.
Junkie.
Sure, you need to buy for the junkie and get new clothes for the junkie before they can be admitted.
With your own money?
Yes, because you need to safeguard the public. And it's like the work of the environmental officers is not being acknowledged in the system. You understand?
So what keeps you going?
That is the passion, because that is what we have been trained to do. So people will say, you are not doing this, you are not doing that, you are not. Have you asked what the environmental officer is going through? Every day you hear that this number of vehicles we are giving to this sector, this number of vehicles we are giving to this sector. Have you ever heard that they are giving a vehicle to environmental unit? Environmental office, we are a unit under the assembly, which is not supposed to be. We are supposed to be a department. If not anything at all, we should be a department. We should have our budget. If you are a unit in an assembly, your budget is being added to the administration. And when you are requesting at the district assembly level, priority is given to things depending on who the spending officer is.
There used to be town council.
And that is me sitting here.
You are the new tankers.
We are the tankers, we are the samasamai that are still there. Gone were the days when they were clothing samasamai.
Yes,
you see them coming
uniforms.
in their khaki and other things. Go to other countries and go and see. They clothe them. Environmental officers are key officers in every country in our economic development.
So now when you are going to the markets, they don't know you are Abaye.
No, they see us as Abaye, so we have to tell them we are not Abaye.
So who is Abaye and who is
Abaye as the assembly task force that ensure that people does the right thing, you don't block the way you are doing it, but we go in with the public health mindset.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the difference.
Yes.
Now, do you have a sustainability plan with regards to this? Because you put your lives at risk. Imagine you don't have a sustainability plan. 1 week time, you go back and the place is back to zero.
That is where I said we need the support of the representatives. So when you see somebody charting a good road, a good path, you need to support the person to chart the good path. But if I'm doing it and the support is not coming, I'll get to a place, we are human beings. You may be tempted to stay back, which is not one of the best. But when we get the necessary support from the representative, we are ready. Environmental officers are ready. If we are resourced, nobody is going to see any waste lying anywhere. And if we do all these things, daily OPD cases like typhoid fever, malaria, diarrhea, and all that are going to be seized, and no money is going to be spent on it. When there's cholera outbreak, it's free treatment. The state use money to do this. But if we are able to do all this enforcement, this education, and people come to accept it, and the city is clean, tourism will increase. And when tourism increase, economic of the country increase because people comes in, they spend a lot of money in the system. But if your country is not neat, nobody will want to go into a faulty place. We all see what is happening at Rwanda. And that is where everybody's using as an example. If Rwanda is doing it, why can't Ghana do it? Rwanda is supporting their environmental health officers to do this. That is why we also need in this country.
A few messages coming in. Hi, good morning. My name is Engineer Joe. I was there last week and witnessed the same thing. I tried talking about it and they got me wrong. I love the spirit of this woman. Can I join her to work for our mother Ghana? I have worked in Dubai for 5 years and I want to exhibit my actions. Please give me her contact or I will give my contact to her if possible so she can get in touch. Of course, he sent his contact, so I can give it to you later and then you can get in touch with him because he wants to support this great cause. You can also join this conversation, sending your messages as we talk about the sanitation in our marketplaces. We ought to all be responsible for it. Now, when you go to the market and the place is really, really dirty, you still purchase it. You don't even think about the condition within which the food is being sold. Now, we even go purchase prepared food nearby sewages, gutters, and we are buying. I've heard people say, oh, that's where even the food tastes best.
Can you imagine? We just use it to deceive our mind. You see, so when you are, every food business operating institute or center, we have this, must go through what we call the HACCP, that is Hazard Analysis Critical Central Point. And the prerequisite for HACCP, there are things that you need to put in place before you can think of producing food. How is the food that I'm going to produce going to be transported? In which manner? Is it going to be exposed to the sun? Is it going to be transported in a vehicle that people sit on the product that I'm transporting? Or I'm going to have solely a vehicle that I will use to transport my food? When you take the food to the house that you are going to prepare, how is the food being stored? Are there some pallets that I've placed down to put the food, the product that I've brought on top to prevent it from having direct contact with the ground or the floor? The tins food that, or the canned foods that we purchase to use, when we open them, how do we save them? How do we preserve them? Do we preserve them in the can, in the fridge? When you purchase a canned food and you open it, you see that there's some galvanized in the canned food. Immediately you open, it has reaction with the air. So when you open the canned food and you use what you want to use, the remaining, please remove it from the can and then put it in a preserving bowl and preserve it. You don't preserve it with the can. When you preserve it with the can, when you remove to use, you see that there's some black things that are attached. There are some organisms that are around. You don't know what it could cause to you, but they are very harmful.
Hello, Rosalind. Please, what about the EPA? What are they supposed to do? They want to know what the EPA is supposed to do.
Yes, so EPA, there are a lot of issues that we all deal in. EPA deal with heavy chemicals, For instance, if you are going to open a filling station, there are a lot of things EPA does, but we do some things in common. There are times we collaborate. For instance, this on noise nuisance, we collaborate with the EPA because environmental officers is our mandate to ensure that we have a serene environment. Having a serene environment means environment devoid of noise. When you are living in a place and the place is noisy, it has a medical implication on your health. For instance, you are a night worker. You've gone for night and you have come back. You need to relax for your system to rejuvenate, put together before you can go the next day. Then you come, somebody is playing loud noise.
All the time.
All the time. Now ask, what do we need to prevent noise nuisance? Before you take somebody to court causing noise nuisance, you need to measure the decibels. What do we use in measuring the decibel? We use dosimeter. Which assembly in Ghana can boast of a dosimeter? Nobody will buy a dosimeter for any environmental officers to use it to control noise because they will tell you it's costly. And because it is a non-physical product, nobody will see it. The service you are rendering, they are not seeing it. But they are forgetting that it is this service that we render for them to have their health, for people to be healthy, to do their daily activities.
Right. Hello.
Let me just add up this one.
Continue.
If you can see, for the past 5 years now, we haven't experienced cholera outbreak. It's because the environmental officer is working tirelessly. They used to be koshoko. Have we seen it? Children used to play on the sun and all those things. Through the education of the environmental health officers, all these things are getting done. When last did you see head louse?
It's been a while. That's one in particular, because when we were growing up, we used to,
Yes. So these are all indicators that the environmental officers are living out there, but people are refusing to see.
You're doing well. Hello, good morning, my sister. Whatever you are saying is true. We need to help our public health officer. You guys are protecting our health, but Africa is very difficult to deal with. Africans are very difficult to deal with them. From Mutar in Gambia. All right, good morning, Mutar. Thank you so much for always watching and supporting us. We are super grateful. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Mutar is saying that there's a problem with Africans. I don't know. But let's talk about the prosecution aspect of it. Of course, when you arrest them, you prosecute them. What does the law say?
So the environmental officers, the enforcement will do, it is in 3 steps. Before you see us sending somebody to court, prosecution is our last enforcement. Before we send you to court, we first of all educate you. When we give you the education and you don't take it, we give you a warning. When we give you the warning and you refuse to take, then we take you to court. Let me say I've come to you, you are selling food or you are generating some kind of nuisances. I will not just come there and take you to court straightforward. When I come, I'll first of all educate you and give you what we call an abatement notice, which most people mistake it as summons. It's an abatement notice given to you, instructing you to abate whatever nuisance you have caused that have a public health importance. And we'll give you days. There are some we give you 24 hours, depending on the nature of the offense or the nuisance that you are creating. There are some we give you 1 week. There are times we can give you 3 months, depending if it involves financial issues. We give you 3 months long so that you can do it. So when that time is due, on the notice we tell you should do it, come and report to the officer for the officer to go for re-inspection. But they will not come. So the officer will go back again for re-inspection at the due date. So when you go back for the re-inspection at the due date and the person still refuses to do what the abatement notice instructed him or her to do, we give you a mandatory notice and go back with a smaller or shorter period. Then when the due date is due and we come and you still put it on deaf ears, we don't say anything. We go back and go and apply for court summons and then come and save you to take you to court.
Right. Yeah. So it's not just one time, there are steps to it. Good morning, I'm Jeffrey from Kaswa. I'm really enjoying the show. Please tell Mrs. Flores to come to Kaswa Market for serious operation. Have you considered Kaswa Market yet?
Kaswa is not under AMA. There are environmental officers there who are also doing just as I'm doing.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. I admire the excellent education by Madam Florence. I've been admiring her work, her hard work, perseverance, and hard work. Once again, I think he really admires your hard work. PA Dr. Nathaniel Akolache. Okay. The problem is this country does not prioritize public health, which is key to development. And I think, Florence, you did mention that as well. So earlier, I did ask you about the confiscated goods. What happens to them?
So when we confiscate these goods, for instance, the yam, the tomatoes, not those that we confiscated selling in a dirty place. If we confiscated something that let me say you are selling by refuse, that one we dispose of it. We give it to the trucks to go and dispose of it. But for the yam and the tomatoes, in order to let them suffer so that they wouldn't do it again, there are some children's home that we identify. So when we confiscate such goods, we give it out. Because when we give it back to you, somebody will say it is too much. No, when we give it back to them, they'll go back and sell at where you don't want them to be. We do that to use it as a deterrent for them to stop selling. Earlier on, you saw me telling Michael, for the past 3 years, we've been confiscating their goods. They used to come. There's a spot fine that we have an abatement fine in our bylaw that when you display for sale goods at an unauthorized place and the foods are being confiscated, you come and pay the cost of abatement and it is being given to you. So they used to come and pay this cost of abatement. The goods are being given to them. They go back and go and display it at where they are not supposed to be.
Because they know they can pay for the fine.
Sure, they know they can pay for it because it is not anything much. But now we confiscate the goods. You come, we won't give the goods to you. You can pay for the cost of abatement, but we won't give the goods to you because the cost of abatement is for the offense that you have caused. It is not for us to give back the food to you. So we send this food and give it to children's home. There are people, homes that people are taking care of children, let me say, motherless babies. So we identify this home and we send it to them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I recommend she'll be given sufficient airtime on your sister station, Adum, to educate us in the local language. Congrats, host and resource person. So it looks like they're advocating that you go on to our sister station, Adum. More education on there will definitely help. Good morning, Auntie Florence. May God Almighty bless you for the good works you are doing for Mother Ghana. I've learned a lot this morning. This coming from Benedicta Ananga, Holy Family. Please, I need your contact. Thank you. Okay, we'll try and see. Maybe office contact. We'll try and see if we can give out her office contact. Again, okay, so the person who said we should put you on Adum is Emmanuel Nyavo, who is messaging us from Oduma Sikrobo. All right. You can also send in your messages and we'll quickly read it on air. And you can, okay, so we can actually pick 1 or 2 phone calls. So the number is on the screen. The lines are activated. You can talk to us this morning. And it's all about our sanitation in our marketplaces. If you watched the video, Florence is doing a lot. I was scared for her life. You are married, right?
Yes, please.
What does your family say about it? What's your husband say?
My husband would tell me, please, when you go, always stand afar. It's always scary.
I can imagine.
And I'll tell him, Daddy, please don't worry. I'll come back safe to you. Any day we go to do Clean Ghana, he watches the news before I get home because I always get home very late. I don't live closer. So he will watch it. When he watches it and he sees that, no, it was not what he was, he will just take a phone and call. Are you okay? And I say, yes, I'm okay. I'm on my way.
You told me earlier that the first time you went to Agboboloshi, you were overpowered. So you had to retrieve and go back again. Yeah.
You saw the earlier video, the yam sellers were using their own powers to retrieve the yam from us. It's an offense. It's a serious offense.
So what happens to these people who are doing that?
Yes, so we arrested them yesterday, and they are the people I said we are sending to court.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
We are sending them to court. You see, another incident that I want to talk about is coming into structural. You see, when you go to the local government system, the assembly, the district assembly is the implementing center. You move to the region, then you move to the ministry. But the environmental officers, we end at the region. We don't even have a national director at the local government office. that caters for issues of environmental health officers. You go to the local government service, there's no environmental officers there. So when you write your report, it gets to the region, maybe a little bit will be removed. But a lot of them that needed to be used to make policies are not there. We have what we call DESAP or MESAP, that District Environmental Strategical Action Plan. That we use a lot of things that we identify, we collect data, we update it. And that is where policymakers use to even make policies and get funding for some of these environmental health and sanitation issues. You get the DESAP, we have, then it gets to the regional. We have regional environmental health officers. They will compile the district and make it let me say, a RESAP. We should have what we call NESAP, the National Environmental and Sanitation Strategic Action Plan. That the government will then use it, policymakers will come look through and take things. These are the most issues that we have facing the country when it comes to public health. Ask the question, do we have it? We don't have anybody at the local government ministry. Meanwhile, we are under the local government. You go to the national local government ministry, there is no desk for environmental health office.
Let me go on my phone line for now. Good morning, Asante. You're calling me from Obuasi. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Fine, thank you. Talk to us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Asante, kindly mute the volume on your television set for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Asante calling from Obuasi. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to make a contribution to the program.
Please go ahead.
Madam Florence, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I know you personally. I know the good work that you are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I want to urge the government to take a closer look at our work. Our work is very, me myself, I'm an environmental health officer. Yeah, and our work is very, very important. The resources that they are giving us is not enough. They are not looking at us at all. So they should take a closer look at our work, resource us more, give us more power. The interferences from politicians and all those people are making our work very, very difficult in some places. So, Madam Florence, keep on the good work. We are also doing our best here. And I want to urge you that for some of us that have dedicated ourselves to this work, we will do our best to make sure Ghana is clean.
Thank you.
To keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me go to Wa. Let me go to Wa and speak with Princess Tyra. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Talk to us.
My name is Princess Tyra, calling from Wa.
Okay. Talk to us, Princess Tyra.
Yes. I want you to greet sister, I forget the name.
Flores.
Your colleague, your trained sister.
Flores.
Yes, but I want to thank this woman very, very much. I'm very glad, and in fact, I'm excited, flabbergasted. I don't know the word to use to express my feelings this morning. I want to tell her that I want to come and join her, but I mean, how do I do it?
Okay.
I'm only having SHS certificates, but I want to join her to work, to fight for Mother Ghana.
All right. I think that
I do it.
You should go to School of Hygiene.
She said you should go to School of Hygiene.
Suggesting here. Please, am I permitted to do so?
What did you say? Yeah, please go ahead and suggest.
Yes, I want to suggest with her that they should always find them, like to ask them pay some amount of money. When they did that, they can use those things to maybe make tables or stores for them.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Yeah, it will also help those that put their food out on the floor to sell. Maybe after taking it, they should ask them to pay some money that they will use those money to get places for them. Some try all their possible ways to get places to sit, but it's not always available for them. If possible, they can get them tables or some small kiosks so that they can be selling their food stuff.
We just don't want them to sell by the roadside.
All
right, Princess Tyra. Okay,
yes,
thank you so much. Thank you. So the whole thing is no selling by the roadside.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. Okay, Dr. Nathaniel, you're joining us from Isawom. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. I'm great. I hope you are good today.
Fine, thank you. Do talk to us.
Yes, I wish to commend my sister for a good job, but I want to make some little analysis.
Please go ahead.
You know, environmental health officers are trained by School of Hygiene, right?
Yes.
And School of Hygiene falls under HTI, Health Training Institution Secretariat, right?
Yes, please.
And HTI is one of the arms of Ministry of Health. Now, I am a public health specialist. I have always advocated that our brethren from the Environmental Health Office should be placed under Ministry of Health. Yes, that is my point of view. Because their work is purely public health.
Right.
Like some of we public health specialists do. So why should we place them, I'm trying to use the word, under local government who don't really appreciate the work of public health? Well, I have put that to the public for discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let me go to Volta Region. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is it me you're talking to?
Pardon?
Hello.
Yes, talk to us.
Okay, I'm Harold from Volta Region.
All right, Harold, talk to us.
I just want to basically encourage Madam Florence, I believe that's her name. It's apparent that, is it Florence?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to encourage her and then also basically highlight the fact that it's not just about our markets. We're talking about our homes as well. This extends to the homes. Obviously, the food is cooked at home level, and then it comes to the market. So it's a whole education that the whole country needs. I think this is something we need to highlight on from the government level, and we need to basically understand that it's not the big things that kill us; it's the very little things.
Right.
And so we need to be aware of them and begin to take action, not just words, because we talk a lot in Ghana. You know, we never get to do what we say we would do.
Okay. Thank you so much. A few messages coming in. Good morning. This is Moses, Health and Safety Environmental Officer from Qatar, now in Atonsu. Miss Florence is doing a great job, and I'm proud of her work in keeping the country safe and neat. God bless her. Good morning. I'm Mary from Bibiani. I was in Kumasi, and this is what happened. The officers come to our house and leave an abatement notice. Went to clean up and report to the office. You are charged not less than 200 Ghana cedis or threaten you to go to court. Thanks for the education. I know what to do now. Okay. This is also coming in saying sanitation. I agree with you, but number one, the planning of this market is wrong. Pathways are far too small. Okay. I think it's supposed to be pathways. All right. Number two, you take daily fee for roadside sellers. That's another thing. Number three, all Accra want is businesses, yet to know where to park. Number four, no public toilets anywhere. Number five, the mayor comes shouting because of cameras. If these people offer suggestions to help solution, nobody listens to you. Pieces of paper doesn't give you knowledge, experience, even being practical. You talk about other countries, but you don't learn. Build a market where the cathedral is planned. All right. That's your opinion. Anyway, another one coming in. Well done, Florence. I think Florence and her team should step up, set up a mobile money wallet for individuals to support their work. Florence.
We are public workers, and we cannot set up a mobile money wallet. It will take the assembly to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Joy Prime, and good morning, Madam Florence. I like the work of you people. Through your education, when I go to the market, I will look at the environment before purchasing my food products. Thank you so much. Eileen from Techiman. All right, so it looks like, the education is going out there. We ought to probably visit our local, stations, media houses to put out more education, because like I said to you, as a consumer, I might not even know that that place that I'm buying from is not allowed.
Yeah, it is true. When we started Joy Clean Ghana, so last year, I decided to conduct a nationwide survey to see how the Joy Clean Ghana is coping, whether the resource is only within Accra. But I realized that throughout the whole country, everybody is yearning for this. And the topmost response we had were that they need us to do these things in the local languages so that people who don't understand English can also have the feel and see what is going on. So we keep pleading with our collaborators media houses that are the local language speaking media houses. They should collaborate. Every assembly has an environmental health unit. When you get there, they are ready. Every environmental officer is ready to work with every media house. So please, just get there. We are ready to work with you.
Thank you so much for being here today. We are super grateful. And
thank you so
for the hard work.
Sure.
You are doing well.
Thank you.
Keep up the fire burning.
Yes, it's just by the grace.
Great. And we'll be speaking with Florence Kuchi, and she is a Metro Public Health Director at AMA, and she's joined forces to make sure that we have a clean market space. We brought you this conversation, and just in case you don't know much about sanitation, well, we are embarking on it. It's all about the Joy Keep Ghana Clean campaign to make sure that we have a better Ghana. We'll take a quick break. We are coming up next with a conversation on love. You know, we are still in the month of love. How do you keep your relationship going? Today, we have a young couple to tell us and spice things up in our relationship. Later, we will have entertainment. Do stay. We'll be right back.